Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil karim amma ba'd. So, in today's discussion, I'll discuss about the women rights according to the CEDAW and the convention related to the women rights and women contribution over the society. For your kind information, woman is the essential part of the society, but most of the people we have failed to establish the woman's contribution, woman's attribution, woman's rights, duties, liabilities, or more even the responsibilities in the social perspective and the social equation. For these regions, the women they are not get their protective right from the male figures or from the patriarchal based society. So my discussion will definitely focus on the woman's effective contribution over the society, why women's rights is literally important for our society, and the social custom based principle. First of all, what is the rights of the woman? Actually, according to the different international convention, including the UNHCR, UDHCR, ICCPR, or ICSCR, or more even the CEDAW convention, which is basically focused on the woman's rights and liabilities. So women's rights literally related some of the basic convention and the figures, which is literally important for the viewpoint of the establishing the woman's dignity in our social figure and the social context. This is called the woman right. Why woman rights is literally important in our society? First of all, woman is the part and parcel of our society. Whenever you will neglect, you will deny the woman rights, woman liabilities, woman responsibilities from your society, then you will definitely eliminate half of your society's contribution, half of your society's willful figure denied by you. This is not possible or never desirable also. So the second thing is that woman is one kind of best creation of Almighty Allah. Whenever there is absent of woman in a single society, then it believe that there will be no good figure in the future time also, because one of the finest poet as well as ruler said that Napoleon Bonaparte said that if you give me a good woman, I will give you. If you give me a educate woman, I will give you a educate nation. So for these reasons, woman is much more important for our social entrepreneur and the social context. The third reason is that women rights are mentioned in different types of political convention, social convention, or socio-political convention. So there are no option to deny the woman rights from your social practice and the social customs. So as far as it possible, it definitely established in our society which will provide the willful satisfactions in the male society, willful satisfaction in our society's perform and contribution. For these reasons, women's rights are important and rational for developing our social contribution and the social phenomenon. So now the question may arise: how will we implement the women rights in our society when the male figure gradually deny the rights of the woman, even the male figure gradually deny the contribution of the woman in our single society or the society's development? The first reason is that in that procedure, the government have to come forward to overcome these situations, because according to Article 27 of Bangladesh Constitution, it is directly said that every people will be equal before law. This equality definitely indicate the woman, because woman will be free from any kind of encumbrance, social encumbrance, political encumbrance, or more than systematic encumbrance made by the male figure in our society. So in that schedule, the government will take the effective measures removing these types of social disputes and the social procurement. In this stage, the common people, literally the people who are existing in the society, who has contributed over the society since the very beginning of the society's rituals, they will definitely come forward to remove these situations. And you know that Bangladesh is definitely a Muslim based country. 90% of the people are Muslim, and in Islam also Almighty definitely says that woman is the willful part of the woman. Even in the last house of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam whispered that never behave unhealthy to your wife, who is part and parcel of your dignity and of your assumption. Even he also whispered the male figure to make a very good relationship with the woman figure for the society's contribution. So I think if a people is definitely follow the rules, regulations, codifications of the Islamic philosophy, Muslim philosophy, then there is no doubt of the woman's dignity and the woman's contribution of the society. But recently I have seen most of the groups who believe that, who also indicate that they are the Islamic figure, Islamic philosophers, they also willfully deny the woman's rights and liabilities from the society. This is not my topic of debate. In the second portion, more than 7% or 8% people, they definitely follow the Hindu rituals and the Hindu religion. And in the Hindu religion also, their Hindu Manushastra and another Manuscode usually says that we have to perform our duty to the woman figure, also to the female figure also, because they have a strong contribution in the society's development and the society's willful contribution over the society. So these are the generalized ideology regarding the woman's rights, woman's contribution of the society. But if I indicate some of the basic principles or convention, then I have to mention the CEDAW convention. CEDAW convention definitely shows a very good weapon for eliminations of all kinds of discrimination procedure against women. But the problem is that in Article 2 of the CEDAW Convention, it profoundly established the woman's rights and the woman's contribution. But till now, we have failed to establish the woman's rights and contribution in our society because of our behavior and because of the systematic limitations of different kinds of stakeholders. So, for example, I will give you a specific dispute mechanism of the CEDAW and our conventional legal justice system. For example, in Islam, for the inherent property distribution, a woman will get half of a male figure. So this is also codified. This is the established principles of Islam. But in the CEDAW Convention says that women will get the equal property as like the male figure of our society. So there is a specific dispute and rebuttable procedure. For these regions, Bangladesh did not ratify the provision. That means Bangladesh reserved the ratification, reserved the codification of the CEDAW Convention 1979. But most of the update philosopher or up-to-date philosopher, they believe that Bangladesh will fully neglect the rights contribution related to the woman's philosophy and the woman's attire. But I think that Bangladesh did not deny the rights of the woman, because this is on kind of systematic provision. If Bangladesh accept the woman's contribution or the woman's rights 100% following the CEDAW convention, that will create a what should I say, a bombara situation, a dignified situation for our society, because 90% of the Muslim people, they directly follow the Quran, and this provision is directly contradict with the Quran's provision and the Quran's philosophy also. So I will not go to the debate, but my question is that in another part, according to our main constitutional law, according to Article 27, Article 28, 4, or more even the 29 sub Article 3, in that provision, Bangladeshi constitution directly mentioned and admitted the women's rights are important for the social contribution as well as for the philosophical contribution of the society. Listen, a society doesn't below the all kinds of systematic barrier, because there will be definitely systematic barrier, but the society's contribution will be liberal. The society will count the philosophy. Even Bangladeshi constitution, Bangladeshi law, or more even the Bangladeshi practice, they are definitely liberal in the in establishment of the rights of the woman. For example, in the previous time, in the portion of shaman, a shaman will be distributed only for the male figure of the society. But in the mid of 2002, Bangladesh government has changed the procedure. Right now, the shaman will be distributed to the woman figure or the female figure of the societies. This is the legal practice of our social phenomenon and the social justice system. So having lots of disputes related activities, this will be also sustained in the society. But I think that from my own value, my own philosophical ideology, Bangladeshi government, non-state actors, NGOs, or more even the common people or the ordinary people, including the religious figure of the society, they are not conservative in establishing the rights of the woman. But there is a philosophy, there is a public sentiment. So for these reasons, we could not achieve the 100% philosophical identity of the CEDAW Convention 1979. But I believe that Bangladesh will overcome from this situation, and they will establish a marginalized, ideology-based, and more conventional based philosophy for the women's rights establishment in Bangladesh. So either it can be possible in the future time or not. But Bangladesh has no option to remove the women's rights from the situationship of Bangladesh, because in the previous time, in the political sectors, the woman has a effective contribution in developing of our political context or sociological context in the previous time also. So we had been practiced in this way since the very beginning of our independent. Even in our parliamentary situation, there are 50 seats for the women. This is the special seats for the women. So many philosophers, they also said that this is important for establishing the CEDAW Convention. This is also important to contribute to admit the contribution of the woman in our philosophical ideology and the social context. Assalamu alaikum.